But joining me right now, we have Cristina Tzintzún Ramirez, the Executive Director of Next Gen America. Welcome back to the broadcast. So first up, on these demonstrations that are erupting on the campuses across the country, why have these protests become so widespread?
Look, young people, this is the most civically engaged generation in American history. Not only are they voting at record numbers, but they're participating in public protest, realizing that they can have a big influence. And they are calling young people, 70% of young people across the country support a ceasefire and want to see a shift in policies, both from their universities as well as from their federal government in how this crisis is addressed. I want to really also highlight, I live here in Austin, Texas, where our state troopers were called in. You know, these are basic fundamental constitutional rights. As long as protests are peaceful, they should be allowed to protest, to be able to show their public dissent, their frustration. That is as American as apple pie.
Okay, the Biden administration is striking a very careful balance between condemning anti-Semitism and supporting free expression. While in China yesterday, Secretary of State Blinken supported protesters' expression of free speech, calling it a hallmark of democracy. What is the perception of the administration's handling of this issue?
When we know that overwhelmingly that young people are dissatisfied with the administration's handling of the conflict in Gaza. As I stated before, they want to see a ceasefire. And I think what's important to know, and often is not covered in the press and sometimes left out by certain spokespeople as well, is that if you go visit these encampments, if you go visit these protests, what's really beautiful is that it's an interfaith coming together. There are Jewish students, Muslim students, Christian students, non-believers, a multiracial coalition, and every student, no matter their religious affiliation, needs to feel safe on campus. But there needs to be safety for Jewish students and Muslim students, because we've seen assaults and attacks on both of those communities. And I actually think these protests can really show a way forward because of the multi-faith coalition. And I think that's what's so troubling to so many of us watching, is to see these very peaceful protests met with a crushing response, overwhelming response by police. Here in Austin, we haven't even seen the arrests of students, professors, and journalists hold up. They've already been, most of those arrests have been dismissed. The charges, the initial arrests, not found to have merit. So I think that's also very concerning for those of us that love the American Constitution, appreciate democracy and free speech.
Yeah, 100%. But Cristina, this sort of kumbaya moment that you're describing in these encampments, that is not everywhere. I mean, you've got people who are taking issue and doing so without potentially thinking about what it means for those that they're going on the attack for.
I think that overall what we're seeing across is, again, if we look at how these protests are happening, that as long as protests are peaceful, those students have a right to express their distaste. And we should all be supportive, whether you agree with them or not, or their position. Everyone should have a right to peacefully protest.
Yeah.
That's American.
That's 100% true, as Secretary Blinken was describing as well. Do you get the sense, though, that the opposition you were mentioning about Biden's handling of the war in Gaza, particularly among young Democrats, could potentially impact his reelection bid?
I mean, it's very clear, you know, our organization has endorsed Joe Biden. We're going to continue to fight to elect Joe Biden. He was not the youth vote candidate in 2020. It was the other older guy, Bernie Sanders, and he has delivered on a lot of progressive policies: student debt cancellation, climate legislation, gun safety legislation. But on this issue, he is out of step with where most young people are at. So we know that if we keep organizing and young people keep organizing, they can push the administration to move. But it is a challenge in this upcoming election. It is not an overwhelming number of young people that will sit out this election or consider voting third party because of this issue alone. But in key states like Pennsylvania and Michigan or Wisconsin or Arizona, you need to hold by a slim margin. So if just a few thousand decide to vote in a different way, that could spell political trouble, which is why all of us that support Joe Biden are encouraging him to move a different strategy.
Want to take a quick look at what NextGen has, this new poll of young people 18 to 35 across 6 states, finding that Biden leads Trump by 12 points and then by 9 points when the third-party candidates are factored in. So while Biden is leading, you note in your report the lack of enthusiasm for any of the candidates. That's actually bad for Biden. Why?
I mean, What we know is that young people are voting in record numbers and that they're showing their dissatisfaction with the two-party system or questions or concerns they have. But there were also a lot of things that we learned from our poll. For example, that the youngest voters, ages 18 to 24, that a lot of them didn't actually know much about Joe Biden or Donald Trump, especially Donald Trump, because some of them were 10 years old when he was first elected. But as they learn about the candidates, they are willing to move and support Joe Biden. The youth vote is still overwhelmingly progressive, but there is clear persuasion that needs to be done with this population.
Okay, Cristina Tzinson Ramirez, it's good to see you again.